Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
How are you?
I am doing excellent.
How was this week?
This week is very, very my preparatory.
Woo! It's been a long week.
Yes, it has. It's prep week because what we got going on tomorrow is our VA seminar that we're hosting in our office at 11 a.m. If you come sooner, around 10 a.m., just to enjoy some light refreshments,
A little mingling, talking, just getting to know each other.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of our viewers to come, have a conversation with us, check it out. There's no pressure. It's not a sales pitch to put anybody under contract or anything. It's just pure education, helping veterans, whether you're active or retired, just to have a better understanding about the VA loan and what it means for people who still own or don't own or is in or is not in the military anymore. All of those different myths that people think about how they can qualify for a VA loan. We're going to be talking about that and sharing some extra secret sauce on how you can actually build wealth using your VA loan.
Yeah, and if you've heard of other VA seminars, if you've been to other ones, this one's different. You need to come to this one because we're really going to dissect things and show you how to really take advantage of your benefits, right? I think sometimes things get missed because they want to just sell, where our approach is not to sell, it's to really dissect and show you what your benefits are. And then from there, you can take it on whether you want to do something with your benefits or not. But it's going to be a good information for you to come in, and we'd like to meet you too. We'd like to meet our followers. So don't miss it.
Yes. So what is happening this weekend? After doing some data research, median home prices right now in San Diego County have actually dropped.
Well, those for you buyers, that's a good thing. For you sellers, maybe not so good, but hey.
Well, and it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because last week we talked about that the market is slowing. So if the market is cooling off a little bit and homes are sitting on the market 60 days longer than what we were expecting last year, which was 30 days, what that means is that there's a lot of negotiation power for the buyers to say, hey, look, maybe I may not want all of these seller credits, but instead I would like you to drop down the price, $100,000 off or whatever the case may be, right? So it makes sense on what the market is shifting into right now, especially from last week's numbers. We're starting to see it reflect in purchase prices now in today's market this week.
Well, and also if you're a seller, it takes a good realtor like yourself to negotiate on your behalf and price the home properly so it can sell. A lot of what we're seeing too are adjustments from overpricing, right? So it's not always that prices are dropping. Sometimes a portion of them is that realtors listed them for too much.
Absolutely.
And now they're readjusting their numbers and it looks like prices are dropping, but it's because of the overpricing.
Now, I will say this because I will admit, depending on the seller's motivation, it also depends on how we enter the market. Because I will have some sellers tell me, look, Angelica, I do want to sell my house, but I don't want to sell it until 6 months from now. What I would typically suggest is, price it higher. Get the MLS exposure that you need because the MLS is going to syndicate your property to thousands, if not millions of real estate websites that are on there. You cannot lose by putting your property on the MLS because are you going to sell to 5 people that you know as a for sale by owner, or would you rather have a multiple offer situation to where you are in control of driving up that purchase price by asking more favorable terms for a seller to actually benefit from a multiple offer situation rather than actually having it be bent over to a buyer's market? See, I think
a strategy. It's definitely knowing your client, their needs, and putting the strategy together for selling their property when they're ready to sell, right? Like you said, that
Absolutely.
scenario 6 months out. So it's a different strategy that someone that needs to move immediately, that's a different strategy. But,
Yes.
but you're the specialist, right? You're the professional. I know that my training in the banking and all that we used to train, and they'd be like, hey, people come to you for your knowledge, right? They don't come to you to tell you what to tell them, right? And it's changed because consumers have a lot of information. They can chat GPT, Google, and they can feel like they know what they're talking about because the data's out there, but the data is not always correct, right? And it takes a specialist, a professional like yourself to dissect that data and see if it applies to them. And that's where you provide that valuable information and you tell them, hey, I know this is what you're thinking, but this is what the data is telling us, and this is how we should approach if you're looking to sell quickly. But I feel like that's why a lot of homes are overpriced because a lot of consumers use that emotional information and want to price their home for way more than it should be priced at today's market.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are priced properly, actually, I see homes closing in 30 days or less. I've closed a few that hit the market. We open an escrow and we close them in 30 days. So there's homes selling quickly when they're priced properly.
Absolutely.
And then there's a lot of homes that are sitting in the market for 60 days or longer.
Mm-hmm.
We closed on a deal that, how long was it sitting in the market for? Over a year?
Oh,
How can you forget? I just saw a second there. You remember, right? What was it, like 355 days?
it was like 374. Yeah.
Right.
It was, yeah.
We won't mention names or anything, but how does a property sit for over a year? So if you're thinking 60 days is a long time,
Yeah.
imagine having your property sit for over a year. A lot of it is strategy.
It is strategy. And for that particular situation, that the sellers, they had to come to the closing table with cash to close.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were talking about on Wednesday's video, if you've purchased a condo within the past 4 years, you're not going to see that equity of $150,000 like if you were to have purchased that property in year 2021 and before.
Before that.
So for people who have to sell within the past, because this property, I think it was only owned for 2 years.
Yeah.
And because they had to come back to the closing table with, I believe, $23,000 cash to close, just to pay, their closing cost, and whatever other fees,
Their
whether it
fees,
be
yeah.
commission or what have you. I think it's really important to understand that when you're coming to help your clients to sell your property, and if they don't have enough equity in the home, and you're thinking that maybe I'll just price it higher because we need to break even. My seller doesn't have any cash to close for closing. Then I think it's really important for agents on the other side to be really transparent and honest with what's happening, because maybe a short sale might be the better strategy. Or, there's so many different ways to actually help your client without having to have the anxiety of waiting for something to happen for over a year, especially if somebody doesn't have time, right? I think that's why it's really important to sit down and see what we're all about as real estate professionals, because I think it takes another layer of understanding whether money is a really big factor for you or is it time? Because there is levels to prioritizing whether time or money is more important to you when you're looking at home ownership, or if you're looking to sell your property, because so many people have different stories of life that they're walking through right now. It's not a one size fits all. It's okay, what's happening in your life right now? What are you truly capable of affording right now? What are your long-term goals? Where can you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And then we can tailor a plan that's really suitable for them, that is comfortable for them to make that first step moving forward.
I've heard so many stories from our clients about how they felt like they went through a fast food place when they got pre-approved, or they went through the process of dealing with the realtor, that they never felt like they actually really took the time to dissect, get to know them, understand their needs, look at what they want to do in the future in 3, 5, 10 years. And I think that's a disservice. I know we're all looking for speed. We like things fast, quick, convenience, right? But this is like one of the biggest moves, financial moves that an individual is going to make. And we need to slow it down, take our time, and not feel like we are in a drive-through with this, because it's not, our clients don't get it like we do. We're in the business. You can tell me something and I get it in 30 minutes. But our clients, they're not doing this day in, day out. They have their day jobs, their families. So when they sit down with a professional and the professional gets it done in 30 minutes, did they really get it done? This takes hours, right? Conversations. I mean, it really takes time for us to really get to know the client's needs. And so I think that's what we do different, right? We understand that. We really, truly understand that this is a life commitment type of decision they're going to make. And we take the time to educate them properly so that when they make the decision, they feel really good about that decision. We were on the other side of that sale. Our client was buying that property. And our client still got a great deal. They got cash to close. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a win for our customer, because maybe on our end, not because, I know for sure, on our end, he had the better negotiating team on his side than on the seller's side. And that's the reality, right? Think about it like a competition. You're going into, our client's going into a match where he's going to box, and you and I are in his corner. And we're training him and we're getting him ready for that. So then we go out there, he can get the best deal possible.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what we do. We are there for them. We take the brunt of the stress, because it is very stressful going through this process. There's a lot of negotiations that happen that our clients not even aware that's going on behind the scenes. A lot of conversations we're having through the day, sometimes at night, late at night, to make that transaction move as smooth as possible, and for our client to feel the least amount of stress so that they can actually enjoy part of that purchasing or buying process, right?
Absolutely.
And so we slow it down. It has to be slowed down. This is not a immediate satisfaction.
Yeah. I mean, let me just emphasize, we're helping them purchase at least $500,000, if not more.
Here in San Diego, like $500,000, $1 million.
Yes, in San Diego.
Put that mini-me guy right behind me like this. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we're literally paying for the sun. We're literally paying for the weather.
Sun tax. They call it a sun tax in San Diego.
Exactly. And I think it's just really important for people to understand that if you really want to get into this market, you have to play by the rules of the game. And what's really important is to work with people who are in your corner, who are going to fight for your best interest. And I think that is a commitment that you and I both can really dedicate to our clients when they come into our office and they sit down and have a home buying consultation. They're getting the real deal. We're not here to sugarcoat anything. We're here to be 100% transparent with all of their numbers and make this transaction as smooth as possible by considering how they feel and really making them feel comfortable moving forward.
Yes. Now, we're on Friday, so the weekend open house, this is a Saturday and Sunday weekend open houses. Do not go window shopping. We always we want to stress that, right? It's how important it is before you start looking at homes to get in with us. Find out really if you're pre-approved or not pre-approved, how much you qualify for, if you're ready to move forward. You have to take the step first before you start going out and looking at homes.
Now, this is if you are curious in buying, because I will say this, if you're not looking to buy in this market and you're just out there being a looky-loo and just browsing and just shopping just for kicks, and you're just out there looking at open houses because that's something that you enjoy doing, have at it. But if you are looking to actually be curious about what is available on the market, the reason why Ruben and I are so serious about this, about not window shopping, is because it can be heartbreaking. It can be disappointing. It may even discourage you from even wanting to buy a home, because you go out there and you're like, wow, I can definitely imagine me and my family living here. What a beautiful place. And the next thing you know, you go out and you get pre-qualified and you're like, wait a second, I'm only qualified for how much?
Yeah.
Now, what happens? You're crushed. Your spirit is like, oh no, like I gotta wait until I gotta make money, until I can actually afford. Well, guys, I hate to break it to you, but the blueprint is we gotta sit down with you and really figure out how much you can afford. Because if you can even get into a 1-bedroom condo, that condo is going to appreciate over time. It is inevitable. There is no way buying real estate is going to be a bad move if and only if you're thinking about selling it between 1 to 3 years, then yes, I could say that is a bad move. However, if you're looking at it as a long-term gain and a return on investment for when you can use it as leverage to position yourself for retirement, or even catapult you into buying your next single-family detached home with a backyard, with no HOA, no Melrose, or anything else that you have to worry about but the cop down the street because he's your neighborhood watch, then really, real estate is a lifetime game-changing decision. And it's so important to take action now. Get in the game. And you don't even have to learn the rules of it because we've already got you.
Yeah. If you got to trust your team, like 100%, because if you want to learn everything we do, it's going to be very hard for you to do that. Almost impossible. We have 12 years plus of experience, 20 years of experience on your side. And we're still learning, right? We're constantly learning. So for somebody to come in as a consumer or customer to think that they're going to know what we know and they're going to be able to do it themselves, it's impossible. You need to trust your team that you're going to have on your corner. If you don't feel 100% confident, if you're working with someone right now that's your loan officer or your realtor, and you're not 100% confident, you don't have the right team. You have to have 100% trust in your team that they're doing the best they can and have your best interest in mind through the whole process and not their pocketbook.
We fight for your best interest.
Yeah.
Better believe it.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Bye, everyone. Happy Friday.
See you tomorrow.
Yes. Bye.